Shalom, 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 Israel. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for another video. Right, brothers Abayala
Brother Marcos.
Brother Kazawan.
coming back at you with another cold cut through the spirit. Right, I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Right, going into a few different parables leading up to the Passover, ultimately to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua's return on the earth. Seeing all the things coming to pass, seeing all the events, the trials, the tribulations, right? The different signs and the things that we see in the heavens and the earth, right? Shalom to those on the common board, Yahweh's servant. Shalom to Yvette McCullough, right? Shabbat Shalom. And we got to continue to watch and we got to continue to fast and continue to pray, especially in these last days, because we see what's coming to pass. Right, I'm gonna kick it off with this. Let me share my screen real quick. All right. Kick it off with this real quick. All right. We go to the book of Second Ezra. All right. We go to the book of Second Ezra, chapter 9. If we watch and seeing what's going on, the Lord is showing all manner of things, and we gotta have our fruits intact. Where are our fruits at? Right, Second Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Right, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And the highest is visiting the world which he made. There was 2,000 earthquakes in 24 hours in Canada, man. Right, yes, mass shootings over there in Russia. Right, you got eclipses and signs in the heavens and the moons, blood moons that's coming to pass. They shutting down all manner of telecommunication and network and air travel, enacting national guards, right? And it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people of the world, and that's what we see, earthquakes and uproars of the people of the world. Matter of fact, let me see if I can type that in. 2,000 earthquakes in Canada. Let's see if I was. Let me see that. 2,000 earthquakes in one day. This is 2 days ago. Ripping suggests that ocean floor is ripping apart. It's off the coast of Vancouver. Everybody loves Vancouver, right? Everybody loves Vancouver. They like going to Vancouver. But the Lord said, you know what? Canada can't get away either. I'm just going to go to Canada when all hell breaks loose. All right, then you're going to get hit with one of them 2,000 earthquakes that'll open up the floor and swallow you up, like it happened to Korah and Dathan in Numbers chapter 16. All right. So you're seeing a lot of these different things come to pass on the earth, right? The Lord said what? All right. The Lord said what? When now should be earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and you're seeing uproars of people. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the beginning. It's like from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And the Most High been spake of these different things. Right, let me get another precept real quick. All right, I'm going to go to Galatians. So if that is the case, where's your fruits? If that's the case, how are you conducting yourself in these end days? Right, this Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit is what? Is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desiring vain glory, provoking one another, envying one another. So if we live in the Spirit, we got to walk in the Spirit. And guess what? The Lord is going to try brothers' fruits. The Lord is going to try the fruit of love. But from this brother, he may want the fruit of temperance. From that brother, he may want the fruit of long suffering. And another brother, gentleness, and so on and so forth. And you have to understand, the Lord may come to you at any given time and want to try any one of these fruits, and they better be there. They better be there. All right? Brothers got it.
I got a precept. Second Ezra 2 and 13. Yeah, because the brother said, you got to watch what's coming, man. The kingdom is literally right there. You got prophecies going crazy right now. The brother was just saying, he said the Lord just making plays back to back, right? All over the earth. Wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, You got pestilences in other countries. You got all hell breaking loose, right? So that means you just got to go 10 times harder for the kingdom, right? Because it's right there. I mean, if you just slip and you stop increasing, you stop going hard, you just gave up, right? This is Second Ezra 2:13. It says, "Go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch." Right. So the Lord said the kingdom was already prepared for you. Right. He's getting the table ready. He's getting the feast ready. Right. It's already prepared for you. Your house, your riches, the amount of men you might be over, right? The amount of kids you're gonna end up having. It's already prepared for you. You just gotta watch. I mean, you gotta watch diligently after your spirit and what's going on in the earth. Right. But that's brother's got it.
Con, I got a quick precept. You go to Isaiah chapter 21. Right, like that's a perfect point. Right, Isaiah 21:8. You know, the Lord in the last days, we're commanded to watch. You know, watching is not something where it's optional. You know, it's a lot of brothers, if they don't see it in the first 5 books, if it doesn't say, okay, thou shalt not watch, they're not doing it. But what the Lord, even Yahweh Shah himself, he commands us to watch. And it's important to watch, especially if you're in the end of the world. I mean, you got Edomites watching, you got whistleblowers, you got these other nations watching. And the crazy thing is that when you go to these other sides of the world, these different countries, these third world countries, the things that are considered whistleblowers in America, that's their everyday news over there. So they know what's going on. America is the only place that's wicked to try to keep you down with just folly. Or that these news outlets in India, China, Russia, they know all hell is breaking loose in the world. Their presidents and kings are telling the people to get ready for war, stock up on food and these different things. But in Babylon the Great, that's set up. So how much more should we search out and watch to see what's actually going on so we won't be caught out there? Right, this Isaiah, you go to verse 8. Right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 21, and verse number 8. It says, and he cried, a lion, my Lord, I stand continually upon the watchtower in the daytime, and I am set in my ward whole nights. So guess what? He said, I'm standing continually upon the watchtower. That watchtower in the ancient world will be upon a high tower. And you will have watchmen with different shifts where they would trade times, where they will watch and see what's going on around the city, see what's going on with the people, and report it back to the king, back to the captains, etc. And us being spiritual watchmen, we have to watch so we can warn our people. Right? Read Ezekiel the 33rd chapter and see what happens. Right? You go to Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1. Real quick. Right, and again, this is why it's important to watch, because like the brother said, the Lord is making plays, man. And you don't want to, not be a part of that play. You don't want to be on that bench. You want to be out there in the forefront, knowing what's going on. Right, this is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse number 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Right, so the Lord, he's going to set us upon that watchtower. And again, being upon that watchtower, that's not you watching your local channel 7 and you seeing another Jake robbed a gun store. And you put it in the group chat. Yeah, I'm watching. Right, brother just robbed another gas station. That's prophecy. No, brothers, that's a lot more prophecy coming to pass. Again, all hell's break. I just seen not too long ago, a couple hours ago, you got Moscow. Someone, I believe it was a terrorist attack in Moscow a couple hours ago. So every day something is brewing up through the spirit. Right, but you got it.
That's right. Every day something is brewing up and something is happening, man. I mean, my phone is just going off every morning, notification after notification about something that's happening in the world. And that's just going to lead us into what we want to talk about is, you want to be prepared for that. You want to be prepared for that. You want to be prepared for when Yahweh Shah, actually, let me go to real quick, Mark chapter 13. Because if you're not prepared for that, then you're going to be caught out there through the spirit. All right, this is Mark chapter 13. And I'm gonna start at verse 33. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for you know not when the time is. You don't know when the time is. You don't know when these things are actually, when the Lord's gonna come back and crack that sky, man. You don't know when the time. Now we can watch the prophecies. We know the chronology of prophecy, what has to come to pass, right? We know we got to be persecuted, Jacob's trouble, right? We know World War III has to hit its peak. Like, we know these things, but if you still not gonna know when the time is, man. You're gonna be in the midst of all hell and tribulation. For the Son of Man is as a king. It's like if for the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey who left his house and gave authority to his servants, and we have authority. Don't we control these words, man? Don't we dish out these words on the highways and byways? Don't we have authority to break down these words? Don't we have authority to read and go over these precepts and exhort one another? Right? We have authority over these words, man. Don't brothers have congregations and have Bible studies and travel the world, travel the earth, damn, teaching the words of the Lord, traveling the country, building up brothers and congregations and sisterhoods? We have authority. We're his servants. And to every man his work, right? Some brothers got 30-fold work. Some brothers got 100-fold, 60-fold. Every man got his own work in this thing, and commanded the porter to watch. Watch ye therefore, for you know not when the master of the house cometh, at even or at midnight, or at the cock crow. Yeah, he can come at even, 7 o'clock, at midnight, 12 a.m., or at the cock crow, 5 a.m., or in the morning, 9 a.m. You don't know. But what? Lest coming suddenly he finds you sleeping. And that's the biggest thing. You don't want to be found sleeping. What does it mean what does it look like to be found sleeping? No fruits, right? Dead, no works, nothing to show forth. You rubbing your eye, itching your eye like this the whole 10 minutes the Lord is looking at you. Right? It's like your mom come home and said, boy, didn't I tell you if I came home from the grocery store for you to be ready so I could take you to school? You're not ready, still in your pajamas. Now, guess what? Your mother's angry. Now she got to get you ready. And it just delays and takes more time. If the Lord finds you sleeping, then guess what? It's over with for you. And what I say unto you all, and what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. So you got to continue to watch. You got to continue to watch what's going on this earth, man. Right? And you got to watch over yourself. Right? Let me get this one more precept before we can get into it. All right, let me get the book of Luke, chapter 21. That's the biggest thing. You can watch over everything else, but the biggest thing is you got to watch over you. You got to watch over you. You have to watch over yourself, man. It's Luke 21:34. And take heed to yourselves. Right? And take heed to yourselves. What does it mean to take heed to yourself, man? Beware of yourself. You want to be aware of yourself, man. Right? You want to be aware of your actions, what you're doing, right? How you thinking, how you're moving. Least at any time your hearts or your minds be overcharged or surfeiting. What is surfeiting? Surfeiting is access. You have too much access to this world, right? You got too much cares in this life. Your heart have gone too far in this world, man. Right? Doing evil, worrying about rent, worrying about bills, worrying about LeBron James and the next move that's gonna happen in the NBA and your what was it now? Your March Madness bracket. Everybody got a March Madness bracket, right? Even damn brothers in this truth, damn the March Madness. Did you know that what's the name lost to what's his name? Brother, don't you know that 46 people just lost their life in Moscow at the hands of America? Right, brother? What are you talking about? Right? You want to take heed to yourself. You don't want to have too much access in this life. And drunkenness. Yeah, you drunk off the wine of Babylon. Right? And cares of this life. And so that day come upon you unawares. Are you so caught up in basketball and March Madness that you forget that the Lord has these prophecies rolling and coming to pass, man. All right? And you don't want to, and guess what? You don't want to be caught out there because you didn't take heed to yourself and your mind was gone. Right? So let me go to the book of Matthew, chapter 21. Start at verse 18. All right. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 21, and verse 18. Now in the morning, as he returned into the city, he hungered. right? So Yahushua, he got hungry, right? He returned into the city, and when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon but leaves only, and said unto, let no fruit grow on thee henceforth forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. So what does this mean? Why did the Lord tell the fig tree to never grow any fruit again? Just because he didn't get one fig? That seems harsh, Lord. You just killed a tree because you couldn't get some food. That's what a Edomite would say, right? A tree hugger. But they don't understand what this is talking about, right? Let me get the book of Psalms, chapter 92 and verse 12. What is that tree actually? What is that tree? Who did Yahushua really come to? Did he come to an actual fig tree? All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 92, and I'm starting at verse number 12. All right, and it says, the righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Right, so man is compared to as trees when you read the scriptures. Right, man is compared to as trees when you read the scriptures. It's not always talking about an actual tree. Right, it's not talking about an actual tree. Let me get this other precept in the book of Judges, chapter 9, and I'm gonna start at verse number 14. I'm gonna start at verse 10. Actually, I'm gonna start at verse number 8. The trees went forth on a time to anoint a king over them, and they said unto the olive tree, reign thou over us. But the olive tree said unto them, should I leave my fatness wherewith by me they honor God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees? So hold on, wait a minute. When's the last time that you seen an olive tree talk to a fig tree? I mean, I've never seen that before. I didn't know trees can talk in the ancient world. I didn't know trees can have other trees be promoted to other trees. Why? It's not an actual tree. It's talking about man. Men are compared to as trees figuratively in the Bible. All right. Verse 10, and the tree said to the fig tree, come down, reign over us. But the fig tree said unto them, should I forsake my sweetness and my good fruit and go to be promoted over the trees? Then said the trees unto the vine, come down, reign over us. Right? The vine tree can't talk either. This is parabolic. It's not a literal. Right? These trees can't actually reign over different trees. It's talking about man. So when the Lord came to a fig tree, he actually came to a man, came to a brother, right? He came to an Israelite, a Hebrew Israelite, and he wanted to see, right, that what that fruit looked like on that man. What did he possess? Right, but brothers got it.
I got one quick precept, Mark 8:23. Yeah, like the brother was saying, it's talking about man. It's not literally talking about trees. Why would the Lord just chop down a tree for no reason? Because it didn't have any fruit. It's a million other trees. That just means the Lord just getting angry because he don't see no fruit on a physical tree. Right? This is Mark chapter 8 and verse number 23. It says, and he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. When he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. He looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. Right? So like the brother was saying, men could be referred to as trees. Right? It's all parabolic. It's all spiritual. Or you can't just read this like an Edomite, because they probably thinking like, damn, so that means if he see men in the streets walking, you got the damn Nephilims. You got the damn 500-foot giants. Right? No, it's talking about regular men like me, you, and the brothers on this live. Right? The brothers got it.
Yeah, that's right. I got a couple precepts real quick. Like brothers just saying, men are referred to as trees. All right, the precepts is not always straightforward. It's parables, and you got to line what the Lord is putting out through the Spirit. All right, you got men that's referred to as grass, men that was referred to as beasts, livestock. What else? Hills, mountains. So the Lord, he describes men as different things in different contexts. And you want to have a spiritual discernment, right? Grass, right? You want to have that spiritual discernment to know which context is which through the precepts. You can go to Psalms 52 and verse 8. You had that?
I was looking for that.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 52, and verse number 8. It says, "But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God." So David, he likened himself to a green olive tree. Right? We go into attribute, and also trees have different spirits behind it. We go into the attribute of an olive tree. Olive trees bring forth olive oil, which is the anointing oil. Or you have men that's likened to fig trees, men that's likened to cedar trees, which are strong trees, mighty trees. All right, so the Lord has likened different men to different things. So David said, "I am like a green olive tree in the house of God." It says, "I trust in the mercy of God forever and ever." Now let's go to Ezekiel 31 real quick in verse number 9. All right, Ezekiel chapter 31 and verse number 9. Right, and we read the context of Ezekiel, the 34th chapter, or through the Spirit, is going into Adam in the garden and the different trees that the Lord told him, or the different tree that the Lord told him not to eat from. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 32, and verse number 9. It says, "I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of God envied him." Hold on, how can trees envy a person? A physical tree is not gonna envy. An apple tree is not gonna be envious at you because you picked from the orange tree. So that lets you know that these trees are actually men. All right, we read Ezekiel, the 17th chapter. You read about the branches and how the parable was put forth on how Nebuchadnezzar took the highest branch through the Spirit. All right, going into 2 Kings, the last chapter, and the siege. So men are likened to different trees and different contexts. That's where you get Romans 11 chapter from the grafted in. All right, but I'm gonna rest right there. You got it.
Okay. Yeah, so these not actual trees, right? That the Lord is talking about. You don't want to get stumped on this parable of the Lord, because the Lord spoke many parables. All right, the Lord spoke many parables, and this one, even though it's short, there's a lot that comes in it, man. Right? So now we know it's not a physical tree. Now we know the Lord came to a man, not just any man, a man that knew he was an Israelite, a man that knew the name of the Lord, a man that knew what his master's will was. Why? Because why would the Lord come to the tree to test the tree in the first place if he already knew that the tree wasn't going to have anything on there? He expected the tree to have something on there. That means he expected whatever he asked this tree to be to be done. And guess what? It wasn't done. It didn't have any fruit. So let's read it again. And when he saw a fig tree, right, he saw this man in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon but leaves only. Yeah, I mean, what is a tree? Isn't a tree supposed to bear fruit? If the tree just has leaves on it, then it's not really doing its job, right? And it said unto it, let no fruit grow on thee henceforth forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. The Lord said, I don't want no fruit to ever even touch this man forever. I don't want this man to bear any fruit. And that's why I brought out Galatians 5:22. What is the fruit of the Spirit? What is the fruit of man? All right. Go to Galatians chapter 5 and verse 22. So the Lord he was looking for something. He was looking for particular attributes to be on this tree, and it wasn't there. Right, let's go to Galatians 5:22. The fruit of the Spirit is love. So as trees, we have to bear love. We have to bear joy. We have to bear peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. These are the fruits that man is supposed to bear on their tree, man. And guess what? The Lord can come to you and look for joy. You have peace. You got long suffering. You got gentleness. You got goodness. You got faith. Maybe even temperance and meekness. But you didn't have any joy. You didn't have any joy. You was just sad all the time. You didn't have any joy. And the Lord wanted that one thing that you didn't have. And guess what? He took away all of these things, man. Yeah, you had love. Yeah, you had joy. Yeah, you had peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, and faith. You had meekness, but brother, you just wasn't disciplined. You didn't know how to control your thoughts. You didn't know how to control your actions, right? So hold on. And the Lord wanted this from you. You need to have all of these. The Lord can come back and try any one of these at any time, just like he did that tree. And guess what? Presently, it withered away. Presently, meaning right then and there. Right? I'm going to Wisdom of Solomon. Right then and there, it withered away. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4. And I'm going to start at verse number 11. Actually, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4. And I'm going to start at verse number 2. But the multiplying broad of the ungodly shall not thrive, nor take deep rooting from bastard slips, nor lay any fast foundations. Like any trees have to take deep root. But the Lord said the ungodly men aren't going to take deep root. They're not going to do it. Meaning, when a tree doesn't take deep root, it's easily liable to be pulled up from the foundation. Verse 4, for though they flourish in branches for a time, right? You may flourish in branches for a time. You may have those fruits for a period of time, right? You may prosper for a period of time. That's what it's saying. For though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not fast. Why are they standing not fast? Because they're not deeply rooted in this truth. They shall be taken with the wind. What is that? What is that wind? That's that east wind. That east wind is the destruction. The Lord's going to hit them with that wind. That wind is that adversity. And through the force of winds, they shall be rooted out. The imperfect branches shall be broken off. Their fruits, what? Unprofitable, not ripe to eat, yea, meat for nothing. The Lord said, man, this man is good for nothing. This man probably took the damn fruit and threw it at the damn tree, man.
Right.
He took the fruit off the damn branch. He said, what is that? And he threw the damn apple at the tree. Right? Probably just kept taking off all the fruit in frustration and threw it at the tree, man. Right? The Lord died for this tree. He had an obscene amount of time to get right and to bear fruit. And guess what? The Lord came back as soon as all the fruit is supposed to be harvested, ready and ripe to eat. That tree wasn't right. The Lord said, yea, meat for nothing, man. That tree was rooted out by that adversity, that wind, that destruction. All right, let me get one more precept from brothers now. Right? Let me go to the book of Seconds. Let me actually go to the book of James, chapter 5. Here's James chapter 5 and verse 8. I'll start at verse 7. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the freshest fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it. Imagine coming back. Long patience. You waited years for this tree to bear this fruit. You couldn't wait to see what this tree bear, what type of fruit. You couldn't wait to taste it, man. And as soon as you came back, that tree had no fruit on it. That tree had no fruit. It just looked like a dead tree. You know how frustrated you're gonna be? Brothers ever planted a garden and you waited all season to taste the damn strawberry and the strawberry wasn't ripe? You feel like you wasted all your time. Right? You feel like you wasted all your time on that strawberry garden, and you could have been doing something else. So guess what? You're gonna take that strawberry, you're gonna throw it at the tree, and then guess what? You're gonna try to chop it down through the spirit. You're gonna have to start over and do something else. Right? The Lord is waiting a long time, right, for these trees to bear fruit. Brothers got it.
We go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and 7. You got to always be increasing, right? Because if you're not increasing, you probably staying stagnant. And that was the problem, right? The tree was staying stagnant, wasn't increasing, wasn't yielding any fruit. And eventually it's just going to die off. It's withering away. So the Lord is going to cast you out of the truth, right? The Lord don't got no need for a man that's not increasing. yielding any fruit, being in the spirit. Right? I'm gonna bring this out. It's Jeremiah 17:7. It says, "Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit." Right? So the Lord said, if you trust in the Lord, if you keeping his commandments, you got that faith, right? And you're gonna be planted as a tree by the water. Right, when you planted as a tree by the water, right? Hey, you being nurtured, right? The Lord is the water, right? That you're supposed to come unto, right? He's gonna make you increase day by day, right? He said you won't see when the heat comes, right? When the heat comes, that's when affliction is on the rise, when temptation is on the rise, and you're not even gonna be fazed by it, right? It's not gonna just dry you up, dry up the tree, make it shrivel, and then cast you away, then break you down, right? You're not gonna see that when the heat comes, right? He says, but her leaf shall be green. And your leaf is going to be green because you always increase, always growing. You always watering your tree, watering the roots, right? It shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. And you're not going to stop increasing. You're not going to stop doing the work of the Lord. You're not going to stop growing in the faith, right? Because you always making sure that you're paying attention and examining yourself and doing the work of the Lord. Right, because the brother went into Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, right? And he said, basically, if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, you're gonna get shriveled up, you're gonna get taken away, and damn die. Right, the brother's got it.
We go to Second Esdras chapter 9 and verse 31. Second Esdras chapter 9 verse 31. Right, and that's mighty points that the Akim make. And again, the precepts is spiritual, right? We're spiritual trees that have to bring forth fruit before the Most High. If you're not bringing forth fruit, if you're not giving to the Lord what you owe him, the Lord is going to cast you away. And Jake on a carnal level. All right, somebody owe you X amount of money, they don't give it to you. Next thing you know, you're trying to cast them out the way. Whether you trying to take them out away, you distance yourself. It's the same thing with the Lord. The Lord has given us spiritual gifts to better forth push, and the Lord has given us gifts to profit the ministry. If you're not trying to profit the ministry with the gifts that you have, the Lord's going to give it to someone else, because you're not doing what you need to do with those gifts and those talents. Right? This Second Esdras chapter 9 and verse number 31. It says, "For behold, I sow my law in you, and it shall bring fruit in you." So the Lord said he sowed his law in us. What's the law? That's the law, statutes, and the commandments. So the Lord, he gave us the commandments. He gave us what we need to do. And with that as to bring forth fruit. What type of fruit? The fruits of the Spirit. Letting your light shine. These different things. If it's not bringing forth fruit, then you're good for nothing. All right, what good is there for a candle if it's not bringing forth light in the dark place? What good is that fruit if it's not going to nourish you and profit you the benefits that come with it?
All right.
All good for nothing, right? And like the brother had made that mighty example I was thinking of. If a man you planting a vineyard and you just you've been, well, I don't know how long you supposed to plant a vineyard for. What, about 3 months? However long it takes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you see the fruit, it's going to, right? And the fruit not coming up, or it does come up and it's all rotten and bugs ate it. And it's all type of disgusting, different colors that wasn't expected. You like cast that from away. What's up? And right,
That's right.
I got a precept after you. What you gonna pull up some?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a shoot down, pulling it up.
Pull this up real quick. All right, let me pull this up real quick. All right, and it says, how long does it take really to plant a garden? All right, how long does it take to really plant a garden? Let's go into it. All right, because brothers want to be in the spirit of planting and different things, but Jake grew up in the hood, man. Jake ain't had no vineyard in his backyard. Jake got the fruit markets and grocery stores.
Right.
Jake don't know nothing about it. See, back in the ancient world, Jake was planting things, man. Jake had apples and gardens and you know what I'm saying? Oxen and goat. Jake don't know nothing about no planting no damn garden, man.
It's a lot.
You know, come on.
Yeah, now we just got the damn flower pot. Jay called that just got the flower pot now.
The fake plant.
Yeah, that's in the windowsill with the sun shining through it.
Yeah, the fake plant with the fake water thing next to it. Ain't no water in it. It's just dust. Jake not the spirit of planting, man. You know, you got fake roses. Jake don't know how to keep a damn plant alive. You gotta water it every day. Yeah, you gotta water it every day, man. Right? Now, I got this pulled up. It says, you know, time to mature, right? Different animal, I mean not animals, different fruit. Right? After planting the garden. Right? Radishes take about 25 to 40 days. Beets take 50 to 70 days. Carrots 60 to 80 days. Right. And if you want to, you know, I guess, you know, be a little bit bigger in diameter, you got to wait a little bit longer. Cucumbers, 55 to 65 days. Sweet pepper. So this is not overnight. These are months. These are months of waiting. Right. And it says 45 to 70 to 90 herbs. Right. Time to harvest. Right. Then you got to harvest it. You thought you was just going to get up and it was just gonna be in your plate. No, you gotta go get this thing. Right? You gotta harvest it. You gotta take it out. I remember so-called in elementary school, we had a garden in our thing. We had to harvest. Everybody had to put on the damn gloves. It was an all-day activity. And then when you eating it, it was good. You know, only took about 15 minutes to eat, but you did all day labor just to take out the damn fruits. But you know what? When we was eating it, it was worth it at the end. We was like all, you know, we say all praises because we was in kindergarten. But you know, we was shaking our head up and down. We was like, okay, we understood a little bit, right? So that's what it is. You have to have patience, man, when you develop in a garden. If you waited, Akim, if you waited 70 to 90 days and then you came back and your tree looked like this, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be mad. You wasted your time. You came back and your tree looked like this, man. Your damn carrot tree looked like this.
All right.
Just ashy. You know, just ashy, man. No fruit. You know what I'm saying? No nothing. Just branches. You gonna question it? Did I do everything right? You know, did I water it enough? Was there enough sunlight? What did I do wrong? And you gonna come to the realization you did everything right. It was just tree. This tree was just bad. It was just a bad tree. You got to cut it down, and then you have to grow another one. Right? Let me get this precept real quick.
I had a precept for you.
Okay.
I got one more. You can go to Sirach 34 and 35 and verse 4. Right, and the same thing happened in the business world too. If you're not doing what you got to do, you know, sports, business, whatever it is, you're not doing what you got to do, they're gonna cast you away, and they're gonna tell you how it is. You know, it's all business, nothing personal. You know, you just wasn't a good fit. They're gonna cast you away. How much more the Most High? I mean, you know, when the Most High casts you, he's not sad about it. He's gonna bring someone that's better than you. You know, the Lord, he's not pondering for hundreds of years thinking how he cast this person out the truth. Not only gonna cast you away, and you're gonna get those same gifts that you should have brought forth, gonna give it to the next brother, and that brother, he gonna bring forth abundance through the Spirit. So this is the book of Sirach 35 and verse number 4. It says, "Thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord." Right, that's playing upon tables. So whatever fruits you are bearing, you want to make sure you're bearing that in the spirit of the Most High. All right, you got it's literally a whole feast day, first fruits. All right, which is a spiritual feast day going into how we should be bringing forth our first fruits before the Most High, which is the works that we put forth. Because if we not, you know, the Most High gonna take care of business, and he just gonna give it to the next brother or the next sister. that's gonna bring forth more fruit than you. The same way how a carnal man, a carnal Jake, how he's gonna cut down that tree and make another tree, or cut down that vine, that vineyard, or whatever it is. He's gonna make another one. He's gonna keep doing it until he has that fruit that he's looking for through the Spirit. But you got it.
That's right.
After you.
That's right. You got it, Cosmo.
I'll go to Genesis 26 and 12. Let's look at Genesis chapter 26 and verse number 12. It says, Then Isaac sold in that land and received the same year an 100-fold, and the Lord blessed him. All right, so our forefathers was putting in the work. It was putting in that work, sowing in the field, sowing in the land, taking care of their families, taking care of everything that they needed to do, and the Lord blessed them, right? Because they kept the faith as well. They did everything the Lord commanded them. They didn't go off and try to do their own thing, try to go into different doctrines, trying to dibble around with the world. No, they did everything the Lord commanded them. And in the same year, he said he got 100-fold, and the Lord blessed him. Right? When you're in the truth, right, you shouldn't be just settling for less, just to know Daniel chapter 9, just trying to know Matthew 25, just want to know a few breakdowns, a few precepts. Oh yeah, I'm mighty through the Spirit. No, you should be wanting to obtain. You should be wanting to obtain the most you can. You got it.
Yeah, that's that bare minimum spirit. I just want to be a servant in the kingdom spirit.
All right. I just want to open the doors. Like David said in Psalms 84. Right? I just want to I want to be the 130. I don't even care about being the 144. All right. If you're a man and you're not striving to be the 144, you tripping. Right? And it says you got it.
It's like I heard a brother say one time, it's off. He said, I think if I'm not mistaken, he was like, I wouldn't even mind if I'm the 2/3 because at least I'll still be in the kingdom. It's just that's the bare minimum. It's like you got it.
That's crazy.
You don't even remember. Brother, not even remember damn saying that, man. That's how awful that is.
That's awful.
And you know what? We was talking about that yesterday, man. You know, you usually want 2 servants in the kingdom, and they both buck up against you. They keep trying to run away. You know, you got chains on their neck, and they keep trying to run away. They pulling you, right? And one servant going this way, the other servant going this way. You know, you got a regular backyard. You got a regular backyard in your so-called mansion. It's like an Edomite backyard. It's regular. You know, everybody got high walls and gold, and you know what I'm saying. They build you a fence. That's all they build you is a fence, in a regular iron fence like Jake got right now, just a fence in the backyard. You told us to build up your walls, right? You told us to build up your walls, but here it is, and it's a regular fence, and they keep trying to hop the fence. You gotta keep chasing them over and over again. On your damn donkey, you don't get a horse, you get a donkey. You don't even get a chariot, you just get a regular. You get an ass, man, and that's your inheritance, and you happy with it.
Just get swine.
Huh?
Just get swine. You don't get a
Yeah.
pigs.
The first animals you get was pigs. You don't get no oxen, no goat, servants bucking up. You got a regular fence, 8 feet high. That's all you got in a dog. That's not in a regular backyard. Brother, I don't want a regular backyard in the kingdom of heaven. I want acres and acres and acres and acres of land, man. You know? Let me go to Luke chapter 13. That's madness. All right.
I think it was more than that. Was it?
Yeah, verse 13.
Oh, come.
Verse 13, it says, And the man waxed great and went forward and grew until he became very great. Right? And it says Isaac grew, and he says he waxed great. That's what the man that's planted as a tree. Hey, that's what he's gonna do. When David said he's gonna be as a green olive tree, he's trying to wax very great. He's trying to always increase. He's trying to always grow. Or you can't be a man I just want to wax good a little bit. I just want to increase just to this level. I don't want to get too high. I don't want to be too low. Let me just be in the middle. That's that lukewarm spirit. I just want to be right in the middle, man, just where it feels right. All right. Damn, and it says, and went forward and grew until he became very great. And it says Isaac constantly grew until he became great. And I'm pretty sure his mindset was, I just want to hit this level of greatness and not this level of greatness. He probably wanted to keep growing. That's just the limit that he gave him. Right? So that should be always on your mind, is growing and increasing in this truth. Right? But brothers got it.
That's right. That's right. Or the Lord is going to cut you down. This is Luke chapter 13. Get the classic. All right. Luke chapter 13. I'm starting at verse 3. Actually, I'm going to start at verse 6. All right. And it says, he spake also this parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard. He came and saw fruit thereon and found none. So another parable, but talking about the same thing. This man didn't find any fruit on this fig tree in his vineyard. He planted this tree. He expected there to be fruit. Didn't the Lord plant you in this truth? Right? Didn't the Lord plant you in this truth, man? All right, I'm going to the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3. The Lord planted you in this truth. Right? And he expected you to have fruit. This 1 Corinthians chapter 3, and I'll start at verse number 5. Who then is Paul and who is Apollo, but ministers by whom you believe, even as the Lord gave to every man, right? Through the servants, the prophets, the Most High, he gives out his word. He allows his men to go out there and sow the word, right? So ultimately, the Lord is planted, man, in this truth. I have planted, Apollo watered, but Yahweh gave the increase. Right, so then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but Yahweh that giveth the increase. It's all up to the Most High at the end of the day. Because guess what? You are in the Most High's garden. You're in his vineyard. Right? Verse 8. Now he that planted and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. For we are laborers together with God. You are God's husbandry. You are God's building. We in the Lord's vineyard, man. The Lord plants us using his servants, the prophets, and then also gives us the increase at the end of the day. So if the Lord planted you in this truth, then don't the Lord expect you to do something with this, man? He expects you to bear fruit. He expects you to bring other people into this thing. He expects you to have the love, joy, peace, long suffering, man, meekness, temperance, goodness, faith, right? Verse 7, then Luke 13:7, then said he unto the dresser of his vineyard, behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this tree and find none. Cut it down. Why cumbereth the ground? Imagine you going to the same tree for 3 years. That's 36 months. See, look, it says about 70, 90 days. 90 days, about 3 months. Imagine going 36 months to find some sweet peppers. And you never find it. That's 12 more times. That's literally 12 more times than you should have been going. That's a mercy. You're supposed to be ripe in 65 days. But the Lord went 3 years trying to see if you're going to get ripe or not, and you never did. That's mercy. The Lord should have been cut you down. The Lord should have been cut you down after 40 days. Some brothers after 60 days. Some brothers after 65 days. Some brothers after 80 days. But the Lord said, I waited 3 years. Why do you take up space? That's what it says, why come with the ground? Why do you take up space? I could plant another tree and it bear fruit in the days I needed to. Verse 8, and he answering said unto him, Lord, let it alone this year also, till I dig about it and dung it. Right? So you had a redeemer. He said, hold on. Don't destroy them. Don't destroy the tree. Don't destroy the tree. Let me just dig. Let me just do some maneuver. Let me just do some work real quick. Let me dig around the tree, and maybe I can make this thing happen. Verse 9. And if it bear fruit, well, and if not, then after that thou shalt cut it down. See, the Most High wanted you out. He wanted you out this thing. He wanted you back in the world a long time ago. But you had an advocate that said, hold on. I think, just give him another year. Just give him another 12 months. He can do it. He can do it. I know he can. If he can, cool. If not, then take him out this thing. Right? Verse 9. And if it bear fruit, well, and if not, and after that, thou shalt cut it down. And the Lord will cut you down out this thing, right? Keep playing with the Most High. Guess what? The fig tree will presently wither away. And this man had mercy. That man had mercy. right? Do you think this fig tree had mercy? Right, let's go to Matthew 21 and 19. Let's see it. Let's see if there was an advocate for this fig tree. Right, and when he saw a fig tree in a way, he came to and found nothing thereon but leaves only, just like the last tree, just leaves only. And it said unto it, let no fruit go on thee henceforth forever. And presently the fig tree withered away, right then and there. Did the fig tree have 12 more months? Did the fig tree have another year like some other fig trees? No, this fig tree is withered away. The Lord was just done with it as soon as he came. And guess what the disciples said, verse 20. And when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, how soon is this fig tree withered away? Meaning how fast this man's understanding was taken away and given to somebody else. Just immediately forgot everything. He had fringes on, right? He was teaching the words of the Lord. He was going out there prophesying. Now he posting a picture with blunts in his hand. Certain brothers got middle fingers up. Party, life, right? Saying lewd things on the internet. Forgot who they were. Withered away. We marvel at these things. You was once, got the head wrap, and you got the camp, 90-degree camps, 20-degree camps. You out there, but now you don't give a damn no more because the Lord really examined that tree and said, you know what? I ain't dealing with this no more. No mercy. Just soon withered away. Brothers got it.
I got a quick precept. Sirach 14 and verse number 17. Right. It says, all flesh waxeth old as a garment, for the covenant from the beginning is, thou shalt die the death. As of the green leaves on a thick tree, some fall and some grow. So is the generation of flesh and blood. One cometh to an end and another is born. Right? So you got, people just be coming into this truth. You got some men, they grow. Some men, they fall away. Some men, they stay stagnant. Right? And then they end up dying. Right? It says, right, as of the green leaves on a thick tree, some fall and some grow. So is the generation of flesh and blood. So this shows you it's talking about men. Right? It's not literally talking about a tree. It's comparing men to leaves on a tree like the parable was going into. Right? The Lord coming to this fig tree, he don't see it growing. Right? And he just going to make sure it's cast away. Right? He don't want you playing around with the gifts and the blessings that he's giving. Right? Because you taking advantage of it, or you're not really thinking about it. You're not thinking it's something great. Right? You just think it's a game. Right? This truth isn't a game. Right? Once you start obtaining this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding, and more is given unto you, and more is required of you. Right? We're gonna go to that after this, after I read this one more time. Right? Actually, I want you to pull it up in the GNT real quick. So it make a little bit more sense.
What this verse?
Yeah, verse 18. Right? It says, human beings are like leaves on a spreading tree. New growth takes the place of the fallen leaves. While some of us die, others are being born. Right? So he said, new growth takes the place of the fallen leaves. So if you've fallen away, like the brother Marcos went into, somebody else being raised in your stead, somebody else taking your place, like David took Saul's place. Right? So you got to make sure you're watching. You got to make sure that you're growing in this truth, because you don't want to be one of those leaves that fall off the tree, right? And then somebody else take your place, and then you just can't come back in this truth. You guys are blunt, rapping NBA young boy, and slandering everybody, thinking the whole world against you, but it's really you just against your own soul, right? But I want to go to the book of Luke chapter 12 and 47, and brother study. Luke chapter 12 and verse 47. It says, "And that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. right? Because you know the Lord's will. You know what He's coming to do. You know what He requires of you. He requires growth and increase. He requires you to wax greater and greater, right? But if you don't do that, hey, He said He's gonna come back. He's gonna beat you with many stripes, right? It says, verse 48, but he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required, and to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. Right? So it's true. There's a lot of things required of you. You're supposed to stay away from evil. You're supposed to cast all the old wickedness that you take part of. You need to stay away from it. You need to discipline yourself. You need to make sure you studying, you reading, you keeping these commandments, you being sincere. There's a lot of things that's required of you. You got to love your brothers, love your sisters, treat them how you want to be treated, love the Most High, right? And the Lord might give you an increase. And He got certain men that's over men in congregations. They over different cities and countries, right? And you see it all the time, right? It's a lot of things required of those brothers, so they can't play around. And you got to think of the same way, right? You might have a family. You got to look at your family as a lot that was given to you. That's a blessing. Some men don't have families. Some men are solo dolo in this truth for 7 years. And they going hard. So whatever was given to you, you want to make sure that you treating it right and that you're going as hard as you can for the Lord. Right? You got to meditate upon it. Right? The brothers got it.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go to Luke chapter 19 and verse number 23. All right. And we read these parables about the fig and the fig tree and men getting cut down and things like that. You know, the scariest thing about these parables is that the things that we read about, yeah, even though we may teach it, but these parables, they're liable to happen to anyone. You know, just because you read the parables don't exclude you from being that parable, right? Well, God forbid, but any one of us on this live, and we could be a part of this parable, and that's the scary part about it. So it should make you want to go that much harder and examine yourself that much more, so you won't fall victim to being certain parables that condemn man, and that it's like it's where your judgment is the judgment of these different parables, right? It's the book of Luke, chapter 19, and verse number 23. It says, wherefore, then gavest not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required my own usury. Right. We read this parable is going into how the Lord, He gave these different men certain talents. And these men were supposed to double and triple and flip those talents. So when the Lord came back, He has more than what He left out with. We didn't know on verse 24. And He said unto them that stood by, take from him the pound and give it unto him that hath 10 pounds. So you had a man who had the least amount of pounds, and he never flipped it and increased in his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Never increased in works, never increased in love, the commandments, the milk. He never increased in the basics. So what happened? The Lord, He took his talent and He gave it to other men, and that's equal to how the Lord, if you're not bringing forth these different fruits as that fig tree, the Most High gonna cut you down. And another thing with these parables is that, you know, he gives out the same message in different ways. You want to have a spiritual mind to perceive what message is being brought out, because He's gonna always bring out the same message and feed it into your head with the precepts, but it's in different ways. It's in the parable. So again, this man, he didn't bring forth what he was supposed to bring forth. Pursuing the Sirach 35:4, he didn't bring the Lord what he owed. And guess what? The Lord, is going to say it. We don't know it. Verse 25, and He said unto him, Lord, he that hath, it's like, verse 25, and He said unto him, Lord, he hath 10 pounds. For I say unto you, that unto every one which shall be given, and from him that hath not, even that he shall be taken away from you. So whatever you have, if you're not increasing, that's going to be taken away from you speedily through the Spirit. It's a lot here. Can brother see me? My screen just went out. Right, nevertheless, right, whatever the Lord has given you, you want to make sure you're increasing it, and that you're not being idle with it. You're not wasting it up, like how those virgins wasted up their oil. And by the time the Lord came back, it was all spent up. It was all too late. or how that fig tree didn't bring forth the fruits and it got cut down. Right? You go to Hebrews 2:1 real quick.
Is it 2
And
and
all
1?
these come. And all these are examples and warnings from our Lord Yahweh Shai. I mean, in the Gospels, it's Passover season. When Passover season come around, that's known as sifting season. So when sifting season is around, it's good to touch on the life of Yahweh Shai, touch on the parables, and refresh your mind on the spirit and the warning that the Lord is bringing forth. At least we get caught off guard by these spirits that try to overtake us. So this is the book of Hebrews, chapter chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Wherefore we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard, and the things that the Lord has brought forth again with the parables, with the things that he written of in the so-called Old Testament, the Apocrypha." We want to take heed to these things. We want to be able to go over these accounts again and again and again, and constantly remind yourself what this truth is about. It says, "Least at any time we should let them slip." Right? Because the men that let them slip, those are going to be the same fig trees that's not bringing forth fruit. Those are going to be the same virgins that's not saving up that oil. Right? Those are going to be the same servants that did wickedly and cast out the other servants and went back into the world. And you don't want to be caught out there like how these wicked men are, but instead you want to be on the other side of that stool. Don't be the man that didn't bring forth any talents, but be the man that brought forth more talents and tripled it and doubled it. And again, like how we say over and over, it's countless of examples in the precepts and in the modern day life, like how the brothers brought up. Right, there's brothers, that's fell out the truth for a false doctrine, and now they're showing that all the fruit that they bared up was all vanity. Real quick, you go to Numbers chapter 20. Numbers chapter 20 and verse number. Let me see what I was. Right, Numbers chapter 20. You can read verse 25. Right, the Lord, He's not going to be hesitant to cast you out and build someone up better than you. Right, it's the book of Numbers chapter 20 and verse 25. It says, "Take Aaron and Eleazar his son and bring him up unto Mount Hor." It says, "And strip Aaron of his garments and put them upon Eleazar his son." This is a clear example of the parables that the brothers been going into. Getting your garment stripped from you, getting that talent that you had unto another person. You bear not fruit, and the Lord bringing up another tree to bear better fruit. It's equivalent to getting your garment stripped. It says, "And Aaron shall be gathered unto his people and shall die there." And Moses did as the Lord commanded, and they went up into Mount Hor in the sight of all the congregation. And Moses stripped Aaron of his garments. And that's scary, man. Because again, that can happen to any one of us. God forbid. But anyone is not liable. The Lord's no respect of person. It don't matter if you the top man in the nation. The Lord would take your garment without even thinking twice about it. It says, and when you read this account, he did it in front of the whole congregation on top of a mountain. So this is a big deal that the Lord would cast you down, take away all your fruits, and expose you in front of the nation. It says in verse 29 again, "And when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead," it's like in verse 28, "and Moses stripped Aaron of his garments and put them upon Eleazar's son. And Aaron died at the top of the mount. And Moses and Eleazar came down from the mount. And when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, they mourned for Aaron 30 days, even all the house of Israel." And when you follow out this truth, brothers are going to mourn. Brothers are going to, remember, "Oh man, that was a mighty brother. I can't believe he fell into A, B, and C." But recognize how it says they mourned for 30 days. After 30 days, they was back on it. The Lord, He raised up Joshua, He raised up Eleazar, and the work kept going nonstop. So if you get cast out this thing, if the Lord take that fig tree, don't think, it's gonna hit big on the nation. Don't think if the Lord take you out this truth, prophecy's gonna slow down. Because we're nothing. The Most High has this thing going, and it's nothing for Him to cast out a fig tree and build up a cedar tree, a tree that was more mighty than that fig tree.
It's like they gonna mourn for 45 days. Like
Right, they gonna mourn for, man, not even 45. They may mourn for a month. You may get a month. All right, brothers may, dang, man, I took this picture with this brother. See, I got on the fringes. See how you shaking the hand in this video? Then the next thing you know, your name is just gonna slowly drift away. And now you brothers forgetting it. And what was that one brother name? Damn, they snapping their finger. I forgot. Nevertheless, they keep going. Next thing you know, you made an example. And that's scary, you don't want to be made an example to the nation, which is why we should make sure that we bring forth these works and these fruits before the Lord, and not just bring forth fruits, but worthy fruits through the Spirit.
That's right. We want to make sure we bring it forth fruits, we bring it forth works, and that the Lord said, right? Let me get this in Deuteronomy 18 and 13 real quick. Let me get this last precept. All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18 and verse 13. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. And that's it. There's a period at the end of that. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God, period. Right? And the Lord said that in Matthew 5 and 48 as well. So that's what we really need to be. We want to be the best trees, the best fig trees, olive trees, cedar trees, pomegranate trees, any type of tree. We want to be the best as possible for our Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. And if we not, everything else is fair. All right. But with that, I'd like to give all honor and glory and praise to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. All right, Lord willing, we can continue doing these code cuts, going into these parables of the Lord, leading up to Passover through the Spirit. With that, I'd like to bid a mighty strong shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.